push down, also known as washerwoman, is a beginning exercise and we perform 3 sets. The goal of this exercise is to strengthen the powerhouse and stretch the posterior chain. It's the most basic of the push-down exercises. This is a good exercise selection for tighter students, students with weaker powerhouses who lack stamina. It also teaches students how to articulate the pelvis. The equipment setup is 1 middle spring. To set the exercise up, the student will stand a foot length away from the chair in Pilates stance. Step a little closer, that's a little generous of a foot length. They'll start in Pilates stance with their abs drawn in and up and their spine pulled long. The initiation for this exercise actually occurs at the atlas axis in the base of the skull. The gross movement pattern is to lengthen the back of the skull, drawing the chin towards the chest as in the fundamental head nod, and to begin to curl down through all the vertebral joints until the hands can reach the pedal. Once the hands are at the pedal, a little bit of the weight is shifted forward to activate the springs. The student will then press the pedal down and roll back up 3 times, pressing from the powerhouse and rolling back up by pulling the sits bones down to the heels. On the 3rd repetition, the student will stay at the bottom and bend and straighten the elbows 3 times without moving the rest of the body. After the 3rd pump, the arms are held still. The student begins to roll back up, releasing the pedal and rolling back up the spine, lengthening to return to the start position. That is 1 repetition. During part 1 of the exercise, where we're just pushing the pedal down and up, the hip is actually moving. So although it looks like the entire body is moving, in fact, the pelvis and the spine are rotating around the femurs at the hip socket. During part 2 of the exercise, when the elbows are bending, the entire body is held still. So it's just the elbow and the shoulder that glide easily during the pumping phase. Hold there. Roll back up. Precision points include staying forward, so the weight is evenly distributed across both hips and the hands are weighted into the pedal, so the weight is shared between the standing legs and the pedal. The spine should remain evenly curved as the student presses the pedal down and comes back up. It's the powerhouse that pushes down to maintain the curve, and the upward action happens from the sits bones being pulled down to the heels with the abdominals drawing up to stretch and pull into the low back, into that C-curve shape. When we get to the pumping exercise, the student maintaining the round shape, the elbows are going to bend to a natural place. So they're not too firmly held in. They shouldn't also be pushed out to the side, but to a natural place to isolate the pedal pump, proving that the powerhouse is in fact maintaining the body position, not the actual arms. Common errors include letting the hips shift backwards. This makes it easier to press the pedal down and up because there's less weight over the pedal. So make sure your students' hips stay over the heels. Flattening out of the spine is also common. So as your students lift, it becomes more of a hinging action than an articulation of the pelvis. The last thing that students tend to struggle with is as they pump the pedal, they tend to allow the entire torso to move, not being able to stabilize the spine separately from arm movements. The rhythm should be controlled and lively, pressing the pedal down and up, and down and up, and down for 3 pumps, pump, pump, and roll all the way up. Let's look at this in real time. Pressing through the balls of the toes, draw up through the abs in Pilates stance. Roll forward and place the hands onto the pedal. Press the pedal down from your abs and pull up from the belly. Press down and roll the tail to the heels. Press down and curl, pump, pump. As you stay curled, hold it down, and roll all the way up to a standing position. Good places to touch and assist here would be a moving away from touch at the seat if your student's hips are falling backwards. So as Jamie rolls forward, if he pushes his hips backwards, I can stand close to him with my body so that if he shifts backwards, he can feel me and knows he needs to move away from me. Another nice place to stand is with the hand in the low back, so that he can move his abs up and into my hands as he articulates through this pattern. If your student struggles to stabilize their torso while pumping the pedal, you can use a light stabilizing touch at their ribs so that they can feel how to hold the ribs still while the pedal is pumping. Roll on the way back up. Signs of readiness for this exercise are going to be pumping and footwork. You should have already introduced your student to the chair through those exercises, and they should already be doing elephant on the reformer. But this is an exercise you can add early into your student's chair repertoire. For building blocks, you can just do the pressing down with straight arms and omit the pumping while your student gets familiar with the articulation and gross movement pattern. If your student is tighter, they may widen their stance slightly, standing in a parallel position with their feet hip width apart, or back a little farther from the chair to give them a little bit more grace into that stretch.